The Senate Banking Committee holding a second day of hearings on the downfall of cryptocurrency exchange FTX, examining how the company's implosion could impact the industry. FTX investor Kevin O'Leary, who lost millions, had this to say regarding how the fallout occurred.
In my view, my personal opinion, these two behemoths that own the unregulated market together and grew these incredible businesses in terms of growth were at war with each other. And one put the other out of business intentionally. Now, maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe there's nothing wrong with love and war. But Binance is a massive, unregulated global monopoly now. They put FTX out of business. Now, lots of other reasons, I'm sure, but that's my personal opinion. That is what Sam Bankman-Fried told me in terms of where the assets went.
Kevin joins us now live. He is a CNBC contributor, the host of CNBC's Money Court, and a Shark Tank investor. Kevin, always great to speak with you and get your take on this. Binance didn't make SBF, embezzle money. Binance didn't, incinerate all of the, accounting trails for where the money went in terms of Alameda Research. So I'm wondering if you think that you're laying a little bit too much blame at Binance's foot, as opposed to saying, you know what, SBF ran this operation that was just completely a mirage.
No, that's not what I was asked today. That's not why that hearing was put together. It was designed to explore the reasons for the demise of FTX. And look, there's lots of accounting issues. There will be lots of investigations. There's lots of litigation. But let's just talk about where the money went. This is a pretty simple situation. Way back on the Saturday when after Friday, after it was I'm going to give you a date here. I'm just looking up my notes here. Saturday, November 12th. I noticed in our corporate accounts, yes, I am an investor, there was nothing there. Not only were there no assets, there were no records. There was nothing. So it had been stripped clean. So I decided, okay, I know the management of this company. I'm going to make some phone calls, ask where it went. Where was it? Did it get hacked? Did it go to the Bahamian government? Did it go to wherever, FTX US? Just where's the money? It's a very simple question. It's not brain surgery here. And I just called Sam up. Sam Bankman-Fried said, Sam, where's the money? And he said, I don't have access anymore to the servers. And I said, okay, walk me back 24 months. Where'd the money go? Forget about the small stuff, the 50 million, the 200 million, all the stuff, all the allegations, all the allegations of fraud. Forget all that. Tell me, you're a $32 billion company. Where'd the real money go? That's when I learned that he bought back all the stock from Binance. They were a 20% shareholder. I didn't know that. The second largest shareholder, maybe, I don't have the records, but we're going to find this all out. And the first largest shareholder, the biggest shareholder, Sam Bankman-Fried himself, bought out all the stock of Binance. And I said to him, why would you do that? Why would you pay a $32 billion valuation for something that you sold for seed stock valuations just months ago? He said, I can't get licensed anymore. Anywhere I go, when Binance is 20% of the cap table, the regulators turn me down. Now, either CZ was being uncooperative or he had reasons not to disclose whatever the regulators wanted in every geography they went. So according to Sam Bankman-Fried, these are his words, I had to buy it back. I had to bring it back on the cap table. You want to know where the money went? That's where it went. And all I'm saying is, sure, there's other allegations, and I know that's all going to be put through the systems. Sure. I get it. But that was the major loss of the balance sheet was basically a related transaction between two shareholders. And the only reason I brought it up is that sounds like a Madoff clawback to me. I mean, there's something wrong here.
Can I ask you, Kevin, because you made it sound like he used cash, he used money that was in various accounts in order to do this, money that was in your account, for instance. But did Sam Bankman-Fried use FTT tokens to buy any part of that Binance stake back?
Great question, Melissa. Nobody knows. There's no records anymore. And that's the first place I'm sure John Ray is going to look. But was it cash? My bet is a lot of it was cash. We just simply don't know. But the point is, let's move forward now to the week of November 6th when this company went bankrupt. Why in the world would a block trade like the one owned by CZ and or Binance be tweeted out saying, I have $550 million worth of FTT tokens I'm going to put to the market? You don't trade like that. You arrange a cross. You go and find buyers, you form a syndicate, and you clear market with a trade.
Well, that's in traditional finance, Kevin. This is decentralized, Wild West finance. So he didn't do that.
Well, Melissa, that's the whole point. And let me tell you something. My read of the Senate today, they're tired of this. They don't want to keep holding hearings every 6 months when the next crypto crap blows up. They're done with it. They're not happy cowboys anymore. They're really unhappy. And it's not going to stop here. Now, I don't know where we're going with this. The narrative's obviously going to be looking at Binance next. I have no idea. All of this stuff is alleged. There's no records. But the Senate, the Hill, the legislators, the regulators, they're done. They've had enough. And so I think we're going to get some action here. You can't keep taking these things down to zero, a billion at a time.
Right. I mean, action, if they're sick and tired of this situation, Kevin, it sounds like the regulation is going to be very harsh and it's going to be, swift in congressional terms, which is probably not swift enough, but swift on their timeline. Kevin, I'm wondering, because you're an investor, right, in the U.S. platform, I believe, as well as the foreign entity, as a VC investor with your own dollars, not with other people's money. And so as an investor in this, what did you see? Did you have any clue? I mean, when John Ray comes out and says this was worse than Enron when it comes to accounting, and Enron was pretty bad, obviously. I mean, weren't you privy to that? Didn't you see anything that would tip you off?
No, I didn't see anything that would tip me off. And you're right. I'd never put an LP into this because I was a paid spokesperson. That would have been a conflict of interest. So it's all mine. I get it. And I look like an idiot, and so do the other 90 investors. We all feel very foolish. But at this point now, the most important thing are the records. And so John Ray has to go get the records. I'd argue this is a very simple situation, not that complicated. You follow the money. Now, let me tell you why it's going to be not so hard to do that. Every wire transfer going into Alameda, whether it's a Fed wire, ACH transfer, or a SWIFT wire, whether we're going to know the address it went to, we can audit that. All the meat grinding that went on in Alameda, we'll get the accounting records of that. We'll know how that occurred. Any transfers between FTX and Alameda, we'll get that too. Any crypto leaving either of those entities is on the blockchain, irrevocable. You can audit that. So my guess is we'll find out what happened here. I don't know where the cash is, but the overall, I was in Washington all day today. The mood, the tone, they're not okay here, Melissa. They're not okay. And so watch what happens. I predict swift, difficult, unhappiness. They don't want any more hearings.
So, Kevin, I'm curious. Have you talked to Sam Bankman-Fried since all of this has gone down?
Last time I talked to him was prior to it when he was arrested. I was trying to clarify. When I first talked to him about, look, I was shocked when he told me he told me the first time I talked to him, I said, Sam, 24 months, where's the cash? Keep it simple. We don't have to get complicated here. I don't want to hear about the trading. Just where'd the cash go? Use of capital off the balance sheet. I'm a balance sheet cash flow guy. Walk me back. He said, I think I spent $2 billion buying back stock from CZ. I said, $2 billion? Day later, I'm starting to think about this. I call him back saying, look, I just got called to testify in hearings. I got to have the real information. I got to have the truth. Was it $2 billion? Yes or no? He said, maybe it was $3 billion. I said, $3 billion.
Kevin, we're up against the clock, but I got to ask you this because you clearly have some choice words for Binance. It almost sounds like you think that was a great trade for Binance. I mean, short of the company going bankrupt, they made $3 billion, $2 billion, whatever Sam Bankman-Fried paid for that stake, they made that.
It was a brilliant move. But if you think after what happened today on the U.S. Senate floor is going to make it easy for Binance to get licensed anywhere on earth, I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.